Oh.
I wish you. This stream was deleted.
We've been reported for being bad girls.
Well, we're live on Instagram and on YouTube.
Oh, good.
And TikTok.
Well, that counts for something.
But not Facebook, which is most of our audience.
Shit. Oh, no. You're not allowed to go on Facebook anymore, huh?
Apparently not.
You've been banned.
Hi, everybody. This is Bible Sludy.
Hi. We have our Bibles.
It has been a 3-week break since we've had our last episode. I don't even know what we talked about.
I don't know, but we were taking a break from our mental health to focus on social media at the time. And now
we're focusing back on what fulfills our mental health is the Bible.
Yes. This is where all of the good stuff comes from, and we're going to dive into it. We're going to read.
Yes. So I'm Jessica Whor. I have a Catholic past with a not-so-Catholic future.
I'm Tiffany Vogue, and I grew up Pentecostal Christian, and every Quizmas, I used to delete all of my porn cache for Jesus, for baby Jesus. And then 2 or 3 days later, I would download it all back. It's that guilt you feel on Christmas.
There's a lot of religious guilt when it comes to porn.
Not anymore.
Not anymore. So we have been going through the Bible chapter by chapter, story by story for the last 3 months.
It's too long.
And yeah, we've barely
cracked it. Not even a dent.
This far, and this is generous, this far of the Bible. Each passage we talk about the literalness of the story that we're reading. We point out some of the hypocrisies of what we're reading as well. And it's really just a point to prove that if you're going to tell us to read the Bible, then we're going to do it.
That's right. The conservatives don't like drag queens reading these woke books, so we're going to read their Bible instead.
So the Bible that I've been using, and I told you I'm not going to change it over till we're done with this chapter, is the Small Hands Edition Bible. This is your Bible.
This is my temporary Bible for today.
What Bible is this, though?
This is just the Holy Bible.
Yeah, there's no
it's placed by the Gideons. So thank you, Gideons. And if you use our discount, you can save 10% at Gideon.com.
Gideon10 is the code. So we're on.
You don't have a bookmark or anything?
This was the bookmark.
Oh, okay. Cute.
Jacob flees Laban.
Sure.
Or Asua comes to meet Jacob.
We will do Jacob flees Laban. And if it sounds familiar, we'll skip ahead.
Yeah, familiar.
All right. Well, I am at the point today that I am past the point of exhaustion because, I live there. I exist there. I manifest from the point. I spawn at exhaustion. And then once I get past that, I break through the wall. And I just am psychotic and loopy. So it's going to be a good show.
And I'm fucked up. So it's going to be...
I wish I was fucked up.
And an even better show.
Grab yourself a juice box because it's time for Bible time.
I want this to play. It's not going to.
Oh, Facebook doesn't like us. Facebook's being homophobic.
That is our audience.
Remember when Facebook took away all the drag queens' names and accounts because of multiple names? Wasn't that just so homophobic? It never happened to you?
No.
It happened to 80% of queens.
Twice.
It didn't ever happen to me though. So I don't know.
Tiffany.
Because I'm passable. Nobody's ever looked at me and thought,
come on, Christmas miracles.
I'm going to hit her with the book. If you tip us $5 on the Venmo, I'll knock her Santa Claus hat off. I'll do it. I've done a lot worse for a lot less. All right, chapter 31. Now, Jacob heard that the sons of Laban, we're going to establish that now. It's not Laban. It's Laban.
Laban.
We've decided.
You know Laban, girl.
James Laban. Now, Jacob heard that the sons of Laban were saying, Jacob has taken all that was our father's and from what was our father's, he has gained all this wealth. And Jacob saw that Laban did not regard him with favor as before. Then the Lord said to Jacob, return to the land of your fathers and to your kindred, and I will be with you. So Jacob sent and called Rachel and Leah into the field where his flock was, and said to them, I see that your father does not regard me with favor, as he did before, but the God of my father has been with me. Have you been with your father?
Not in a long time.
He's not a very attractive man. I've heard that he looks a little bit like Bob Ross.
No, John Goodman.
John Goodman.
I
John.
wish he looked like Bob Ross.
I am into John Goodman,
But what
though.
era of John Goodman? Like Flintstone John Goodman or current John Goodman?
John Goodman.
Or Roseanne John
could
Goodman.
ruin me. He could ruin me.
Well, I'm gonna set you up with my dad.
That would make me your stepmother, wouldn't it?
Yeah.
You better
sure.
treat me real nice. I'll take away your allowance.
I'm treating you the same.
So not well. You know that I have served your father with all my strength, and I'm going to.
The strength of your throat.
The strength of my hole. Yet your father, I could snap a chicken bone with my hole. I do my Kegels. I think thou shalt exercise your Kegels. That's one of the commandments. We're gonna get so many hate comments today because of
no one's watching. So
thank
perfect.
God.
Oh, we have 9 people.
Oh my God! Hi. Anyway, yep, your father. It's a good episode. They should be watching.
It's a great episode. You should be.
I'm having a manic breakdown.
If we had Facebook going on right now.
Oh, I'm so depressed. We're just gonna end it here. If he said the spotted shall be your wages, then all the flock bore spotted. And if he said, so this is talking about the previous chapter where Laban, or where he had cheated his father-in-law out of a whole bunch of sheep because he made them have relations, for the TikTok viewers, relations while watching spotted and striped sticks. And that's how we got the babies. So we're talking about the scam still here. The striped shall be your wages, then all the flock bore striped. Thus God has taken away the livestock of your father and given them to me. In the breeding season, isn't it breeding season now?
To be fair, breeding season for me is a year-round kind of thing.
In the winter, I breed to stay warm, so... And it's cold here in Colorado.
It's not that cold.
It's so cold! My nipples are so hard!
Your nipples are always hard.
That's because they're just excited to be here. In the breeding season of the flock, I lifted up my eyes, and I saw in a dream that the goats that mated with the flock were striped. Now, if you're dreaming about goats banging...
And they're not jumping over the moon, you're fucked up.
That's true.
If they were spotted and jumping over the moon, like counting sheep, counting goats, that's okay. But otherwise, you're fucked up.
Then the angel of God said to me in the dream, Jacob and I said, here I am. And he said, lift your eyes and see all the goats that mate with the flock are striped, spotted, and molted. For I have seen all that Laban is doing to you. I am the God of Bethel, where you anointed a pillar and made a vow to me. Now arise, go out from this land and return to the land of your kindred. Then Rachel and Leah answered and said to him, is there any portion of inheritance left to us in our father's house? Are we not regarded by him as foreigners? For he has sold us.
Foreigners.
Well, see, there's a dash here, and it continues on the next page.
Your Bible's confusing.
For he has sold us, and he has indeed devoured our money, just like those little crumb snatchers that the Straits keep popping out, little semen demons.
Crumb snatchers?
Crumb snatchers, because they snatch the crumbs right off your table.
Oh.
He drove away all his livestock, all his property that he had gained, the livestock in his possession that he had acquired in Padam Aram, to go to the land of Canaan. to his father Isaac. Laban had gone to shear his sheep. When was the last time you sheared your sheep?
I trim once a month.
Once a month. I feel like that's a pretty standard procedure. I feel like you shouldn't hold yourself accountable for like having to keep up with more than once a month because we got a lot going on in our lives.
I'm not a bushy brother, but but I have a prickle or two.
Okay, just the two. All right, let's see what else we got here. How are our TikTok viewers?
Awful.
Quiet. Quiet. But God, I think
trying to go live.
But God, should I wait?
No, keep going.
Okay. But God came to Laban, the Aramean, in a dream by night and said to him, "Be careful not to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad." And Laban overtook Jacob. Now Jacob had pitched his tent in the hill country, and Laban with his kinsmen pitched tents in the hill country of Gilead. It is that, isn't it? They're all pitching their tents together like a circle jerk.
I've only done one of those before.
Oh.
You?
Oh, well, I can't.
Oh.
There are just some situations that you cannot discuss on a live platform. All right. And Laban said to Jacob, "What have you done that you have tricked me and driven away my daughters like captives of the sword? Why did you flee secretly and trick me and did not tell me, so that I might have sent you away with myrrh and songs, with tambourine and lyre?" Oh my God, we're live on Facebook.
Finally. We're live on everything now.
Work. All right. "It's in my power to do you harm, but the God of your father spoke to me last night, saying, 'Be careful to say anything to Jacob, either good or bad.' And now you have gone away because you longed greatly for your father's house. But why did you steal?" Well, I mean, probably is trying to get into the real estate market.
Hey, real estate at that time, cheap. That's the time to enter.
It's true. They're all built out of straw and mud, so what are you really inheriting?
Straw, mud.
And this is the part of the show where Jessica breaks into the Prince of Egypt. And Jacob answered and said to Laban, "Because I was afraid, for I thought you would take your daughters from me by force. Anyone with whom you find your gods shall not live in the presence of our kinsmen. Point out what I have that is yours, and take it." Now Jacob did not know that Rachel had stolen them. It's not good to steal. So Laban went into Jacob's tent and into Leah's tent and into the tent of the two female servants, which were totally servants and not slaves at all.
No.
But he did not find them. And he went out of Leah's tent and entered Rachel's. Now Rachel had taken the household gods and put them in the camel's saddle and sat on them.
Oh?
I know.
Sat on the camel?
No, she sat on the satchels of the camels because there were idols.
One hump or two.
Sally the camel had.
One hump.
That's right. Laban felt all about the tent, but did not find them. And she said to her father, "Let not my lord be angry that I cannot rise before you, for the way of women is upon me." The period. So he searched but did not find the household gods. Then Jacob became angry and berated Laban. Jacob said to Laban, "What is my offense? What is my sin that you have hotly pursued me?" Have you ever been hotly pursued?
Yeah, but I wasn't happy with the amount that I was offered.
Oh, God. They're always running up to you in the parking lot and behind the venue.
$4! I'm like, come on, like at least 6.
How many crunch wraps does it take to get to the center of your Tootsie Pop?
3.5.
3.5. Now you know. For you have felt through all my goods.
Yeah, I bet you felt through them goods.
Mm-hmm. What have you found of all your household gods? Set it here before my kinsmen, and Set it here before my kinsman and your kinsman, that they may decide between us two. These 20 years I have served you. Your ewes and your female goats have not been miscarried, and I have not eaten the rams of your flocks. I love getting rammed.
I love your flock.
I love getting flocked.
Your flock is so bushy.
What was torn by wild beasts I did not bring to you. I bore the loss of it myself. From my hand you required it, whether stolen by day or stolen by night. There I was by day. The heat consumed me.
Amen.
Have you ever consumed somebody in bed? Like you in like some whipped cream or some hot magic shell syrup?
3 times. One time I actually did like the classic like sprinkles, whipped cream, ice cream. Like
I feel like the sprinkles could get lodged in the urethra. You have to fish them out with your
thankfully I
tongue.
only put them on the balls.
Oh.
So it like stayed in one place. I did one sexual food experience with gravy.
Oh.
It was
What
cream-
kind of gravy?
It was cream gravy. And
Cream
and
gravy?
brown
It was brown gravy on the feet?
gravy. No, not on
Feet
the-
are savory. They're a savory body
not on the
part.
feet, but it drips. You know.
It drips. Where did it drip onto?
My face.
Oh, okay. I
Where
feel
do
like
you think it
some
dripped?
mushroom gravy would make sense to put on the penis.
I love like a beef stroganoff, like with the mushroom gravy.
I feel like most people are doing like whipped cream and cherries, and you're like, I'm gonna put some rib rubbing sauce, a dry rub on this meat. I'm gonna marinate these
A
balls.
bitch is hungry. A bitch is hungry.
You've always had a savory palate,
yes.
and
Yeah.
the genitals are generally pretty salty anyway.
Yeah, but if you add like like a little bit of guacamole or something like that, it just balances it out. Like guacamole.
A well-balanced breakfast.
Potatoes, hash browns.
I'm all potato and no meat, so
No.
when I chuck everything up in, you can see my balls inside my abdomen
Yeah.
protruding
Yeah.
like a little fetus being like, "Let me out!"
Kicking.
Yeah, like in Twilight, where the baby's like,
I never saw Twilight.
I didn't either, but I think I've seen like a clip of it. Surely we've all seen.
You haven't seen it either?
No, I know. I'm such a
Wow.
bad gay.
I feel bad because I've never seen it either.
It came out when I was growing up in a cult, and I wasn't allowed to watch anything that wasn't about Jesus. So Twilight fit into that factor where I was just, it was filtered out of my.
We should watch it together and react. I don't watch it because
We should.
what's her face? The main lead girl.
Oh yeah,
She looks like she's constipated the whole time.
just like you on the mic.
That's true.
Come catch us in Fort Collins tonight.
If we make it.
We shouldn't advertise that on TikTok. There are a lot of death threats there. So Jacob took a stone and set it up as a pillar. And Jacob said to his kinsmen, "Gather stones." And they took stones. And I just picked a spot and started reading. I don't know for sure that that's where I left off.
That sounds about right.
I think it was here. If the God of my father and the God of Abraham and the fear of Isaac had not been on my side, surely now you would have sent me away empty-handed. God saw my affliction and the labor of my hands and rebuked you last night. Then Laban answered and said to Jacob, "The daughters are my daughters, the children are my children, the flocks are my flocks. And all that you see is mine, all that the light touches. But what can I do this day?"
Simba. All that the light
Simba.
is the Pride Lands.
Come, the gay Pride Lands. Come now, let us make a covenant, you and I.
What would be the gay Pride Lands? Like,
The gay Pride Lands would
thing.
be, oh God.
And what would be the gay elephant graveyard?
Oh, this
That's
is a good.
It's
this is
a really good question.
I feel like the gay Pride Lands would be Fire Island, and the Elephant Bone Land would be Puerto Vallarta. I feel like,
Wow.
because like it's like people who have money to go to like an island that is like
true.
like everything in Fire Island is insanely overpriced, and Puerto Vallarta is
If
for
you can
people like
afford to be
us,
there, yes, that's why we go to PV.
where we get our drugs on the cheap.
surprisingly.
That's true. Come now, let us make a covenant.
I am coming now.
When the trade just
Make
won't
it-
finish, and you're just
In
sitting
your
there like,
jaw, it's like you're like massaging your neck.
I have gotten lockjaw from some BBC in my time.
And I'm just like, will you finish already? I know you want to. Like, this isn't fun
That's
for
why
either
you
of
have to
us.
charge by the hour. You have been charging that flat rate. She sends a proposal over. She says, "This is what I'm worth.
I'm charging.
This is what I'm willing to accept.
I'm in charge.
This is what
I should start charging. That's the issue.
this is what I'd like to be paid." She has a whole tier system.
Exactly. I'd like to be paid. Period.
And Jacob said to his kinsmen, "Gather stones," and they took stones and made a heap, and they ate there. They ate.
800.
Laban called it Jegar Sahadutha, but Jacob called it Gilead. Laban said, "This heap is a witness between you and me today. My heaps, my heaps, my heaps, my heaps, my lovely lady heaps." And Mizpah, for his, said, "The Lord watch between you and me. When we are out of one another's sight, you oppress my daughters, or if you take wives besides my daughters, although no one is with us, see God is witness between you and me." Then Laban said to Jacob, "See this heap and the pillar,
The heat.
which I have set between you and me? This heap is a witness, and the pillar is..." So now they're just playing pretend. They're playing imaginary.
We've been playing imaginary since the first page.
That is the Bible, isn't it? That I will not pass over this heap. Oh, we did read this chapter last week
Did
because
we?
they drew a line in the middle and they said, "I'm not
That's
crossing this
true.
line." They did the
I love
classic
how
Nickelodeon trope.
It took 45 minutes.
I'm on the last 3 verses.
Yeah, it took 20 minutes for us to realize that we read this.
We might have to go a little over today.
That's fine. I will go. Okay, are you continuing?
The God of Abraham and... Yeah, I'm just going to finish it out.
Let's just go.
The God of Abraham and the God of Nahor, the God of their father,
Nesca.
judge between us. So Jacob swore by the fear of his father Isaac, and Jacob offered a sacrifice in the hill country and called his kinsmen to eat bread. They ate bread and spent the night in the hill country. The hills have eyes.
I saw
Early in the... me too. Early... There's a movie we've both seen. Early in the morning, Laban arose and kissed his grandchildren and his daughters and blessed them. Then Laban departed and returned home. See, this is the reason. We just finished that chapter that apparently we read last week. So it's a good thing it took us so long to get up on Facebook.
Now that we're all caught up.
We're all caught up. But the reason it took me so long to realize we had already read that chapter is the Bible has already so often in past chapters just repeated what it said
same thing.
over again. It says this, and happened. And then it repeats it and says, "And remember when just a moment ago, this and this and this and this happened?" And
True.
it's the exact same shit.
And it's the same trend of like, we're going to tell you everything or we're going to tell you nothing.
Yes.
And just say, hey, this happened in 5,000 years. Just like believe it. And then one day, this happens, 2 days, and then whatever. Like, it's just so back to back concise.
Ashley wants to know if we're single. And honey, for the right price, I can be.
$4.99.
Hi, KB. All right, you want to take over chapter 32?
Yes, Isua is what I'm going to just
Bless you.
Isua.
Is that why your nose is so rosy?
From a puffs. Isua comes to meet Jacob. What's yours say?
It says Jacob. Oh, it doesn't have a title.
Oh,
There's no title.
So Jacob went on his way, and the angels of God met him. When Jacob saw them, he said, "This is God's camp." And he called the name of that place Mahanaim.
It's probably it.
Mahanaim. Then Jacob sent messengers before him to Isua, his brother, in the land of Seir, the country of Edom. and commanded them, saying, "Speak thus to my lord Esau. Thus your servant Jacob says, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now. I have oxen, donkeys, flocks, and male and female servants. And I have sent to tell my lord that I may find favor in your sight." Then messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he also is coming to meet you. And 400 men."
That's one bukkake.
And 400 men are with him. And they didn't have poppers back then.
It's a warehouse party.
They didn't douche
really
back
getting it.
then. They didn't do poppers back then. 400 men.
400 men. My limit's 300 personally. Any more than that, I'll get E. coli again. The thing that they don't tell you about hooking up with 300 men all at once is that, never mind. I gotta behave myself with the TikTok.
Yeah.
We can't get Jessica banned.
And he commanded them, saying, "Speak thus to my lord Esau. Thus your servant Jacob says, I have sojourned with Laban and stayed there until now." Then the messengers returned to Jacob, saying, "We came to your brother Esau, and he is also coming to meet him, and 400 men are with him." So Jacob was greatly afraid and distressed, and he divided the people that were with him, and the flocks and herds and camels, into 2 companies. And he said, "If Esau comes to one company and attacks it, then the other company which is left with escape." Then Jacob said, "O God of my father Abraham, and God of my father Isaac, and Lord who said to me, 'Return to your country and to your kindred, and I will deal well with you.' I am not."
God just deported his ass.
I know, exactly. Pretty much. But he's reaching out to all of them. "I am not worthy of the least of all of your miracles and all of the truth which you have shown your servant. For I crossed over this Jordan with my staff, and now I have become 2 companies. Deliver me."
Microsoft and Apple.
Remember Microsoft? It still exists. Remember Microsoft? Are you Android?
No, God.
I thought I liked you. Oh, yeah.
With all the porn I watch, how could I possibly have a Microsoft computer? That thing would be dead within the week.
It's true. The firewall sucks. Did you ever have to download porn? Like
on my phone, I did.
Like
I had a flip phone.
No,
and
here's the thing. Before flip phone, did you ever have to go to a computer, log off of the phone line, and download porn and like watch it?
Well, I had to download non-pornographic videos when I was a child, but so I was there, but I just was not quite sexually active yet. But when I was a teenager and I was horny, I had a flip phone, and I had to wait for the photos to download on my flip phone, and they weren't X-rated. They were just like a shirtless man. It was like Jesse McCartney shirtless.
Heinz commercial. It was just
Heinz.
Fruit of the Loom.
Yes.
Fruit of the Loom.
Ketchup gets me so high.
Heinz.
Heinz. You said it was a Heinz commercial.
Oh. This is the Moses versus.
You're so fucking high.
All right. I know where we're at because I want to sing it from the Prince of Egypt. Deliver me, I pray, from the hand of my brother, from the hand of Esau. For one, fear him, lest he come and attack me and my mother with the children. I'm with a child.
I always imagined, like, you know how people have imaginary friends. I always
Did
imagined
you ever
that
have one?
Zac Efron was my imaginary brother. I was a lonely child.
Yeah, brother.
Could you imagine, like, your hot throb living in your home?
If it
Your
was your
celebrity
actual brother.
crush. Celebrity crush. He's stepbrother.
That makes it okay. Oh, church. Oh shit.
Who is your celebrity crush as a horny teenager?
Gary Busey.
How does it feel to grow up and have become your celebrity crush?
It's accomplished.
I
I have
think
nothing left to offer.
we're all surprised that Gary Busey's still with us, and I think everyone
He's
feels
alive?
the same way about you. Is he not? I don't know. I'm not gonna
I
act
thought
like
he
I
was
know.
dead. I don't know.
Well, he's looked that way for a while, anyway.
For you said, I will surely treat you well and make your descendants as a sand of the sea,
He's a man and he's lying. He's not going to treat you well.
which cannot be numbered for multitude.
Mm.
So he lodged there, and the same night he took that and took what came to his hand as a present for Isua, his brother, 200 female goats and 20 male goats and 200 ewes and 20 rams.
I love getting rammed.
30 milk camels with their colts, 40 cows and 10 bulls, 20 female donkeys and 10 fowls. They love listing animals in this story.
I don't have a whole lot else going on.
Then he delivered them to the hand of his servants. Every drove by itself, and said to his servants, "Pass over before me and put some distance between success droves." And put some distance between success droves.
Successive droves.
Okay, what does that mean? And he commanded the first one, saying, "When Isua my brother meets you and asks you, saying, 'To whom do you belong, and where are you going? Whose are these in front of you?' Then you shall say, 'They are the servants of Jacob. It is a present sent to my lord Isua, and behold, he also is behind us.' So he commanded the second, the third, and all who followed the drove, saying, 'In this manner you shall speak to Isua when you find him, and also say, Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us.'" They're repeating the same thing.
See, this is how we get confused.
We could knock off. This is like Lord of the Rings. If we just took out all the fluff, all the walking through the fields, and all the walking through the grass, all the repeating of phrases, this could be half as thick.
It is like Lord of the Rings, but with like more rape. So there's that. Continue.
"Behold, your servant Jacob is behind us, for he said, I will appease him with the present that goes before me, and afterward I will see his face. Perhaps he will accept me." So the present,
Just like Papa. We're over it. We found our own zaddies.
So the present went on over before him, but he himself lodged that night in the camp. This next one is called Wrestling with God.
Ooh.
Have you ever wrestled with God? Put him in the chokehold.
Oh, well, I'm not much of a athlete.
Wrestling with God. And he arose that night. We're gonna get banned.
No wonder they won't let us back on Facebook. What's wrong with you? We're reading the Bible.
It's true. "And he arose that night and took his 2 wives, his 2 maidservants, and his 11
2 wives.
2 maidservants,
Dos.
and his 11 sons, and crossed over the ford of Jabbok."
The hut.
Misa. He said, "Took them, sent them over in a brook, and sent over what he had. And then Jacob and left alone And a man wrestled, and he went a breaker, went a bed, drinking of
I
the day.
promise this is the only time that the Bible has ever been read as Jar Jar Binks. We are pioneers in our industry.
The doors I've opened. I can do this, Yoda. Now he saw when he did not, what he prevailed against, him against them, him.
What the fuck?
I sound like the song's played backwards.
You did. You did.
Oh, it hurts. Now, when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched.
Touched up. We've done all we can do.
Your bones are cracked.
You need me to take over?
No. Now, when he saw that he did not prevail against him, he touched the socket of his hip.
Have you ever fucked a socket like a pit or?
I fucked ankles once.
It's like the worst thing.
Yeah,
that's the worst place to put your dingle.
They were bony.
Well, afterwards they were boned. Oh, bony.
It didn't last long. I just tried it.
Gosh. But you've never done an armpit.
No, have you?
Yeah. It's like one of the first things you do.
How was that?
I mean, it was not
hairy
bad.
or not? Was it prickly? Tell me.
It was somewhere in between.
Okay.
I was not prickly.
Did you come while fucking the armpit? Like come in the pit? Cum pit? Did you dump it to crumpet?
Dump it to crumpet? No, I did not dump it to crumpet.
So you didn't come, you just like used it for pleasure.
I was curious. I was like, that look any hole's a goal.
If it's a bussy, what is an arm and a pussy?
A
patussi?
A
patussi?
Patussi.
A pit
A
pussy? A patussi?
A putty. A putty. It's a putty.
Why putty?
Because it's a pity. It's a pity.
No, I'm a pity.
It's a pity tat.
Fucking me is a pity, not my pit. Let's continue with the Bible.
Fine.
Then he said, "Let me go." And for the day,
let my people go.
See, I knew you'd get into this Prince of Egypt shit.
Well,
let me go, for the day breaks. But he said, "I will not let you go unless you bless me." So he said to him, "What is your name?" And he said, "Jacob." And he said, "Your name shall no longer be called Jacob, but Israel. For you." I'm sorry.
Such a terrible.
Hi, Tiffany. It's so nice to meet you. But your name's actually going to be Martha.
Martha May Whovier has the best lights.
Betty. No, Isaac. Hi. He just changed his name. He's like, I didn't like that. He literally said that. What is your name?
That's
he
me
said,
at a show.
My name is Jacob. Then he said, your name shall no longer be Jacob, but Israel. That is the popular kid saying, I don't like that.
That's me at a show though, meeting a queen that I already have such a terrible memory, and they're like, "Hi, my name is Jasmine Demond Dupree Deluxe Designer Disaster the star," and I'm like, "Your name's Beth now. Your name is now Israel."
I'm gonna start doing that too. Welcome to the stage, everybody. Your next performer is Israel.
Remember that time that you flew all the way out to LA for a show, and when you were going to be announced on the mic, the host of the show said,
I don't know why this bitch is here, but this bitch is here anyway, and she's from a different place.
I don't know her name, but
here she is. And that was my introduction.
That queen now gone.
Yeah, she's
missing.
Not drag anymore. But damn,
that's what happens.
That was my first trip to LA.
Yeah.
That was literally my first performance.
Forget
in LA.
Jessica's name.
Not even
and you
that.
Go missing.
I don't know why she's here, but she's here anyway. I don't know her. Welcome her to the stage.
I don't know why she's here.
Anyway, Israel. For you have struggled with God and with men. We all struggle with men. And have prevailed. We all prevail. And he said, no. Then Jacob asked him, saying, tell me your name, I pray. And he said, why is it that you ask about my name? and he blessed him there. And Jacob called the name of the place Peniel. For I have seen.
They want children to read this book.
For I've seen God. Yeah, this is the first sign that children should not read this book.
Oh yeah, that's the one,
15.
huh?
For I have seen God face to face, and my life is preserved. Just as he crossed over Peniel, the sun rose on him, and he limped on his hip. Therefore, to this day, the children of Israel do not eat the muscle that shrank,
The penile muscle?
which is on top of the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip.
See, I feel like there's a whole lot of innuendos going on here.
Can I just read this last little segment? Therefore, to this day, the children of Israel do not eat the muscle that shrank, which is on top of the hip socket, because he touched the socket of Jacob's hip in the muscle that shrank.
I'm so glad that they were able to pass this down for nearly thousands of years. For thousands of years. This information. I'm so glad. I mean, he could have gone into like how to cure cancer or even something that we know now.
It's just the process
science.
that doesn't make sense, but
But
there's a lot of
this is-
touching in the hip socket.
This is the holy word. We want to know about that
There's a-
hip muscle at the top of the pelvic
To be
bone.
fair, wrestling with God.
Touched him right in the hip socket.
We're in 33. You ready to read?
All right, here we go. Chapter 33. Buckle up, motherfuckers. And Jacob lifted up his eyes and looked and beheld Yeshua was coming and 400 men with him.
That is so much.
How many in units?
You could fill this glass easy.
400 men? You think that's all?
No, easy. I said you fill it easy.
I feel like
We have a straw.
a bathtub. You can do it. Oh, you think that
No.
would be good for the skin?
400's not going to fill a bathtub.
You don't think
Maybe
so?
a sink. Maybe like a bathroom sink, but not a bathtub.
Comment. Since y'all are on the live, comment how many
400
units.
men fill up which unit?
Yes.
Bathtub
How
or
many
sink?
units? Either gallon, bathtub, pool, cup,
That's so much.
liters,
You just told me I'm the yearly average of cum.
yearly no, it's lifetime.
Yeah, lifetime. So tell me.
So for a whole lifespan, for everyone's reference, and by everyone I mean both of you, for the average lifespan of a man, he ejaculates 2 gallons of splooge. So that should give you some reference. Half a gallon for 400 men. Do you feel like you would spank the monkey about 400 times in a year? 200 times in a year?
At least 400.
I would say 365 times
At least
in a year.
At least once a day.
And Jacob lifted up his... Oh, we did that part. So he divided the children among Leah and Rachel and the 2 female slaves. And he put the slaves with their children in front, then Leah with her children, and Rachel and Joseph last of all. We got a couple... Says, yes, sink, not a tub. And
Half a
a gallon. That seems realistic.
See?
Sink.
That's
I
a
think it would
lot.
depend on the size of the sink.
How many men would it take to take a full bubble bath?
Well, not
cum?
all of it's going to be white. Some of it's going to be kind of yellowy, and they should get that checked out. You should see your healthcare provider if your hair is this, if your semen's this color and not this color. We're here to help notify.
What if it's this
People.
color?
If it's that color, your days are numbered, and you should probably be a little more gentle with yourself.
I have to talk to somebody.
He himself on. Oh my God! If a man nut in my mouth and it was the color of Heinz ketchup, I would.
Not Heinz.
I
Sponsor us, please.
I would quit being gay. It would be it for me.
Really?
I'd retire.
If someone came blood in your mouth, you stop.
Chemical castration. I'd be done.
Really?
I think that's all it'd take. Would you be able to recover from that? They could
I think I might drink more.
they could launch some kidney stones into my mouth and I'd be able to recover. But blood is where I draw the line. Crunchy. Cap and crunch. Munch, munch, crunch, crunch. He himself went on before them, bowing himself to the ground 7 times. Not 6, not 8.
They're very specific.
He bowed 7 times. Until he came near to his brother. They must be from the south. But Yeshua ran to meet him and embraced him and fell on his neck and kissed him. And they wept. Pussies. And when Yeshua lifted up his eyes and saw the women and children, he said, "Who are these with you?" Jacob said, "The children whom God has graciously given your servant." Then the servants drew near. They and their children bowed down. We don't know how many times. They didn't specify.
There's a lot of children.
Leah, likewise, and her children drew near and bowed down again. And last, Joseph and Rachel drew near, and they bowed down. Yeshua said, "What do you mean by all this company that I meet?" Jacob answered, "To find favor in the sight of my Lord." But Yeshua said, "I have enough. My brother, keep what you have for yourself." Jacob said, "No, please. I have found favor in your sight. I'm a virgin." Have you seen that video?
No.
There's this old man. He kind of looks like Santa. He's wearing an ugly Christmas sweater. He doesn't look quite like Santa. He just looks like an old man. And there's this. She looks like a cock destroyer-esque lady, and she's seducing him in the kitchen. She throws him up against the counter in this old-timely kitchen, and she's just like flirting with him and rubbing up on him. And this old fat man is just, "No, no, no, please! What are you doing? I'm a virgin."
What? I'm looking.
I don't know what type
I
of
can't
a
even look
fantasy
this
this is, but we're gonna watch it after today's video.
We'll post the link in the comments.
I highly recommend. Y'all should all look up, if you're of age and you're nasty like we are, you should Google, "No, wait, I'm a virgin old man," and I feel like you'll be able to find it. Oh, did we get some nice
They're talking
comments?
about
We're still doing the gallons. 2 gallons. But Yeshua said, Jacob said, "No, please. If I have found favor in your sight, then accept my present from my hand. For I have seen your face." So he removed the paper bag, which is not something that Jessica has the privilege of doing.
Usually, if they like me, they keep it on.
Which is like seeing the face of God.
It is.
And you have accepted me.
Got it.
Unlike Jessica's father.
That's so accurate.
She's high enough, I think we can make her cry. "Please accept my blessing that is brought to you, because God has dealt graciously with me." My denture slipped out there for a minute. I take them out to please your father.
I don't think you want to suck that.
I'll just think about John Goodman and I'll be fine.
I forgot you like John Goodman. He's very attractive at some point in his life, but not currently.
There's never a time when John Goodman hasn't just done it for me. Thus he urged him, and he took it. Then Yeshua said, "Let us journey." Took it like a man, he did. "On our way, and I will go ahead of you." But Jacob said to him, "My Lord knows that the children..." I'm saying it like that guy from Star Trek. What's his name? What's the...
"Good evening, my lord." Oh,
Yeah.
no, that's from Zachary Khan. That's from Road to El Dorado. What are you talking about?
the man from Star Trek, the larger one, not the bald one. Give me the name of the larger man from Star Trek. But he talks like that. Anyway, if we had quicker typers, I would know by now. You keep an eye on it for me, because this is important. It's gonna kill me.
We only have 7 people doing research right now.
Okay. "Let my Lord pass on ahead of his servant, and I will lead on slowly at the place of the livestock that are ahead of me, and at the pace of the children until I come to my lord in Seir.
Come to my Lord.
So Yeshua said, let me leave with you some of the people who are with me. But he said, what need is there? Let me find favor. Let me find favor in the sight of my Lord. Did you know I used to work at a nunnery?
No.
I got fired. So Yeshua returned
Shocker.
that day on his way to Seir. But Jacob joined to
There's
Sukkot.
no dick at the nunnery. How do you get fired?
I just feel like you're being really disrespectful right now.
I am.
And built himself a house and made booths for his livestock.
Booths?
There shall grant us boons. Therefore, the name of the place is called Succoth. Succoth.
Sucker.
And Jacob.
Steakhouse. Succoth. Have you ever watched True Blood?
No.
Bill is a vampire, and every
Is
time
it about Jesus?
Jesus is involved, though.
The book of True Blood.
No, every time he talks to Sookie, he calls her Sugar. Sugar Steakhouse. Sugar.
If you are a fan of True Blood, sound off in the comments.
It's like porn. You would love it.
Oh, it sounds great. Is there gay shit in it?
There's so much gay shit.
Ah!
There's just
We
so
gotta
much...
react to that, and we gotta react to Twilight. I'm sure you've forgotten. She has terrible dementia.
We should
She looks as delusional as she is.
react to
Twilight and True
Cactus
Blood.
Ball.
They're both vampire things. We can't. We can't. Nobody can know about Cactus Ball.
Yeah, we have a fetish. for
and
vampires.
and Jacob said, "I rebuke you. I rebuke you." And from the sun, people are so confused who are just logging on. They're like, "What the fuck is this?" And from the sons of Hammer, a dick like a hammer.
Yeah,
Shechem's.
my fault.
How would you go about tucking a dick that's built like a hammer? How would you
The
creatively
same
get
way I
around
tuck my dick right now.
origami?
Fold it and peel it and
Peel it
stretch it and
like a
tape it.
banana? If you had to describe your dick with one fruit other than a banana, muskmelon? Depends on how long you've been tucked. It's just marinating in its own juices.
Mine would be a Buddha hand.
Is that a real fruit?
Yeah, I saw that.
So people,
sprouts when we went.
Is it chubby and people rub it for good luck?
The base is fat, but it's got a lot of danglies coming out of it.
That is the best
It
answer.
smells really good. A
I
Buddha hand.
I was not expecting you to come up with a really
What
good
about
fruit.
your dick?
I think what's the one with all the pricklies on it? Is that a dragon fruit or is it a passion
Prickly
fruit?
pear?
A prickly pear. The one with all of the open sores.
Oh.
You know those ones you see and you're like, how the hell? It doesn't look like an inviting fruit.
No, it should be
It's got
discounted.
studs all over it. Yeah, and you
So
walk
you're
past
a
it.
durian when it's open up and people taste it. They throw
Ribbed
up
for your
after.
pleasure. Anyway,
A durian.
and from the sons of Hammer, Shechem's father, he
Shechem.
bought for 100 pieces of money. 100 pieces of money? What in the hell is that supposed to mean?
Bought 100 pieces of money, or
Do you think
100
you could
pieces with money?
No, it said he bought for 100 pieces of money. So since that's not a specific dollar amount, it's just pieces of money.
Pieces. How many pieces to the dollar?
You think it's still illegal to sell yourself on the corner if you're just asking for 100 pieces of money instead of 100 pieces of? Because you could be talking about monopoly money.
That's a very.
It's
good
very
point.
descript. It's very undescript.
Yes. Just
Very vague.
like I'm getting gifted.
Yeah.
This is a gift to me.
I'll hang out with you for just 100 pieces of money.
And
then they give you 100 pennies.
I think that they're more turned on by that because they're like, oh,
She doesn't know her words.
She's different.
Oh gosh, she's special. Everyone wants to fuck someone who is pretty but not very smart. That's why I get so much action.
That's
There, he erected an altar. Oh,
erected again.
I know. I got excited.
One's erected.
And called it El Ohil Israel. All right. Well, that was 33. Do we have time for one more chapter?
I think we do.
Work.
This one is called the Dinah Incident.
I will follow him. Follow him wherever he may go. Okay.
Now,
serious.
Now,
serious.
Dinah.
It's fucking serious.
Now, Dinah, the daughter of Leah, like Dinah was in the kitchen with Dinah.
The origin.
Who she had born to Jacob, went out to see the daughters of the land. When Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, saw her, he took her and lay with her and violated her. The prince of countries saw her, he took her and lay with her and violated her.
That's literally what the verse says. Give them the verse. They can look it up if they want
34 to. Took her and lay with her and violated her. Yeah, but we're the problem.
What was the verse? It was chapter 30. Genesis chapter 34, verse 2. Genesis chapter 34, verse 2.
And this is the Small Hands edition.
That's the children's version.
I want to know what
they could have censored that.
Your version probably goes into detail about what
we're going to have to look it up. Next week, we're going to look up if it says violated in my uncensored Bible.
And when Shechem, the son of Hamor, the Hivite, prince of the country, yes, violated her. His son was strongly attracted to Dinah.
The dinosaur from Flintstones?
That's Dino.
Oh.
Dinah, the daughter of Jacob, and he loved the young woman and spoke kindly to the young woman. So Shechem spoke to the father of Hamor, saying, "Get me this young woman as a wife." And Jacob heard that as he had defiled Dinah, his daughter, now his sons were with the livestock in the field, so Jacob held his place.
Violating the sheep.
Held his peace until they came.
Has a man ever held his peace across from the bar and just gave you the look?
Here's the thing. I'm sure it has, but I can't see. I literally.
You heard it here first, folks.
I can barely see you. I can barely see. If someone was across the bar trying to hit on me, I'd just be squinting, looking at this blob of dust.
You just bragged about your perfect eyesight that the doctor told you had.
Yes,
and that the contacts putting in your mouth.
I said perfect eye health is what I said. I have perfect eye health. I don't have perfect eyesight.
So she's blind, but they are good.
Are your eyes perfect?
My eyes are perfect. And don't you ever say otherwise.
Yeah, you're young. This is how they get you. You don't have anything in there.
Yeah. I just wish that I did. Would it kill you to have a mini fridge in here?
And Jacob heard that he had defiled Dinah, his daughter, and his sons were with the livestock in the field. So Jacob held his peace until they came. Then Hamor, the father of Shechem, went out to Jacob to speak with him.
How long does it take for you to hold your peace before you came?
I can hold my peace at 18 hours.
Oh my god, I can get it done in 18 seconds if I am in a rush.
Peace, not pee.
Held your peace.
I held my pee.
Before you came.
3 hours. But I can go 2 or 3 rounds back to back. Fun facts.
Your schedule's weird.
I shit.
You got 30 different events to hit in one day, but you block out 3 hours to fab.
I wish.
This woman doesn't sleep.
2 hours.
God damn.
I do schedule myself. I know it's awful. Not all the time. Anyway.
Do y'all schedule your intimacy? Let us know.
I think more people should.
You got to make time. Priorities.
The sons of Jacob came in from the field when they I should touch my shit. Came in and they heard it, and the men were grieved and were very angry because he had done a disgraceful thing in Israel. by lying with Jacob's daughter, a thing which ought not to be done. But Hamor spoke with them, saying, the soul of my son Shechem longs for your daughter. Please give her to him as a wife.
Blind queen.
Please, please give her to him as a wife, and make marriages with us. Give your daughters to us, and take our daughters to yourselves. So you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade in it, and acquire possessions for yourselves in it. Then Shechem said to her father and her brothers, let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say to me, I will give. Ask me ever so much dowry and gift, and I will give accordingly to what you say to me. But give me the young woman as a wife. You know this bitch, this queen is like 10 years old. You know that's what's happening. But on the condition we will consent to you if you will become as you are. If every male of you is circumcised, then we will give our daughters to you.
So they're consenting on the daughter's behalf.
Yes, but only if the men are circumcised.
I didn't realize you could do that. But I mean, if God says so.
And we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not heed us and be circumcised, then we will. Why do we keep bringing this up?
When you do a train, do you become one people?
What?
A train where like there's like a couple verses in the middle.
Oh! I wouldn't know.
Well, you'll have to find out. Do some research.
What about you? Are you the caboose?
I have been in the middle.
Have you ever been the conductor?
Conductor.
Yeah, like you're in charge of the whole thing. You're in front, or like you're the one telling people.
I didn't know what was gonna happen. I was just in the middle of doing regular intimacy when someone came up behind me by surprise, and all of a sudden I was in the middle of the train. I think, but it was really dark, and I don't know what was going on.
It's all a blur.
Yeah. Wild things happen on the dance floor.
On the dance floor?
You never done the nasty on the dance floor?
Only a finger.
That's hot.
No, I'm lost.
I'll say.
Oh, here we go. So you shall dwell with us, and the land shall be before you. Dwell and trade in it, and acquire possessions for yourselves in it. Then Shechem said to her father and her brothers,
I love that name. I'm going to name my dog Shechem.
Shechem. Then let me find favor in your eyes, and whatever you say to me, I will give. Ask me ever so much dowry and gift, and I will give according to what you say. But the sons of Jacob answered Shechem and Hamor his father, and spoke deceitfully, because he had defiled Dinah, their sister.
Demon just left me.
And they said to them, we cannot do this thing. You give to our sister, to the one who is uncircumcised, for that would be a reproach to us. But on the condition that we all consent to you, if you will become as we are, and every male of you is circumcised, then we will give our daughters to you, and we will take your daughters to us, and we will dwell with you, and we will become one people. But if you will not heed us and be circumcised, then we will take our daughter and be gone. And then their words pleased Hamor and Shechem, Hamor's son. So the young man did not delay to do the thing, because he delighted in Jacob's daughter. He was more honorable than the household of his father. And Hamor and Shechem, his son, came to the gate of their city and spoke with the men of their city, saying, these men are at peace with us. Therefore, let them dwell in the land and trade in it. For indeed the land is large enough for them. Let us take their daughters to us as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Do you remember that chapter about the camels?
Yes.
Feed the camels, and then the girls, and if the girls are happy and the camels are happy, then you can have them. This is what I'm getting again. This is just no camels.
How many camels do you think you're worth?
I would say 6 double humps, and at least
for the night or for a lifetime.
And for regular humps. And I would say that's like a 6-month contract. So 24 camels double humped for the year, and 24 to 30 regular humped for the year.
I think I just want one albino camel, and then I'm gonna have a real cute coat. And I'm vegan.
You are the albino camel.
Hey, those lumps are not humps.
My lovely lady lumps. Check it out. They look real.
They do.
You'd never know.
They do.
And so Whor and Shrechem his son came to the gate in their city and spoke with the men of their city, saying, "These men are at peace with us. Therefore let them dwell in the land and trade for it in it. For in the land is it large enough for them. Let us take their daughters as wives, and let us give them our daughters. Only this condition will the men consent to dwell with us, to be the only people, if every male among us is circumcised as they are circumcised. Will not their livestock, their property, and every animal of theirs be ours? Only let us consent to them, and they will dwell with us." And all who went out of the gate of the city heeded Whor and Shrechem his son. Every male was circumcised, all who went out of the gate of his city. Now it came to pass on the 3rd day, when they were in pain, and the 2 of the sons of Jacob, Simon and Levi, Dinah's brothers, each took his sword and came boldly upon the city and killed all the males. That escalated. And they killed Whor, and they killed Whor and Shrechem his son with the edge of the sword, and took Dinah from Shrekem's house and went out. The sons of Jacob came upon the slain and plundered the city because their sister had been defiled. They took their sheep, their ox, and their donkeys, and was in the city that was in the field, and all of their wealth, all their little ones and their wives, and took captive, and their wives they took captive, and they plundered even all that was in their houses. Then Jacob said to Simon and Levi, "You have troubled me by making me obnoxious among the inhabitants of the land, among the Canaanites and the Perizzites, since I am few in number. They will gather themselves together against me and kill me. I shall be destroyed, my household and I." But they said, "Should he treat our sister like a harlot?"
What a bedtime story.
That last chapter was very intense, very interesting.
I want to do a little segment, since we don't have any comments to read, really.
No.
I want to do a quick little segment for y'all. I want y'all in the TikTok live to ask a question that you want advice from God about. And I'm going to open up my Bible, find the verse that the Spirit leads me to, and say exactly what God has to say
that's great.
for your specific situation. I'm putting on my televangelist.
What advice do you need? Now is the time. Tell us.
Yes. Ask your questions if you're looking for advice, or if you have...
For example, just give us a question.
Yeah, like, I'm going through a tough breakup. What does God have to say to me to comfort me?
What is the answer to this?
What is the meaning of life? Any question. The Spirit will lead us to a specific verse in the Bible. A lot of religious folks do this method.
What spirit called? What is Spirit called to tell me? What is the Spirit called to tell me?
Oh, that's a good question. Here, we'll each do this one. No. So, the Spirit has led me to tell you, floating intentions, that, but the king spared Mephibosheth and the son of Saul's son Jonathan, because of the oath of the Lord that was between them, between David and Jonathan, the son of Saul. The king took the 2 sons of Rizpah. The Spirit really doesn't care about you. I'm sorry. Spirit wanted to give you the message that he spared someone one time.
Period.
Spirit said that he spared someone one time. So that's his message for you. Maybe you are more in tune with the Spirit.
This one says how to make my kids clean the house. Let's see.
We're gonna find out.
The spirits are telling me. Consider and call for the mourning women.
That's you, because your house won't get clean.
That they may come. You deserve to come. And send for skillful wailing women, that they may come too. Everyone coming. And let them make haste and take up a wailing for us, that our eyes may run with tears and our eyelids gush with water. For a voice of wailing is heard from Zion. How we are plundered. We should get plundered. We are greatly ashamed, because we have forsaken the land, because we have been cast out of our dwellings.
That's what the Spirit has to
It's
say
saying how
for
to get
you.
your kids to clean the house. You come more.
Yeah.
Not with them.
I mean, you just need to have more, relations with your husband, and the house will clean itself.
I just want a decent job. I like what it will be possible. Okay. Advice on how to get a decent job.
Will it be possible for Aries and Ajar to find a decent job? The Spirit leads us, and the Spirit says that you will not need to fight in this battle.
This is like a fog machine.
You will not need to fight in this battle. Stand firm, hold your position, and see the salvation of the Lord on your behalf. That's some good advice. I feel like the Spirit gave you a decent verse. This is Chronicles chapter 20, verse 17. You will not need to fight in this battle. So that good job is going to find you. Don't blame yourself, honey. Life's going to find a way. Oh, KB's husband agrees. They just need to be
Wailing.
more...
A wailing.
They need a good wailing and coming.
Anybody else?
The house will sort itself out. All right, last call on questions. If you got any questions, the Spirit's going to speak to you through the Bible.
About time. Oh.
Yeah. Oh, that was a response from Aries. If you have any questions, we're going to answer your questions. The Spirit of the Lord is going to guide us to a chapter, and we're going to see what the Spirit has to say about your specific question. We're just going to do 2 more questions, and then we'll be done with our little segment. See if we can get some more good ones. Going once?
You can do it. I have faith in you.
Going twice? Better type.
There's 14 of you. Will I get any gigs in 2024? Okay.
Let's see what the Spirit has to say about those gigs. Are you going to be able to pay them bills? Jess is asking me, how do I keep the men off my pearly back gate?
Okay, you look that one up. Will I get any gigs in 2024? This is what the spirits are telling me. Now it came to pass on the 20th day of the 2nd month, in the 2nd year, and the cloud was taken up from above the tabernacle of the testimony. And the children of Israel set out from the wilderness of Sinai on their journeys. And when the cloud settled down to the wilderness of Paran, so they started out for the first time, according to the command of the Lord by the hand of Moses. The standard of the camp of the children of Judah set out first according to their armies. Their army was Nishon, and son of Abimelech.
What was that answering? What was that question? Oh, if they were going to get gigs.
It's coming. Over the army of the tribe of the children of Issachar was Nisaiah, the son of Zerah. And over the army of the tribe of the children of
You might need to try that one again.
Was Edom, the son of Helo.
You might need to try that one again.
Then the tabernacle was taken down, and the sons of Gershon and the sons of Merari sent out carrying the tabernacle.
I found a clear, concise answer for mine. Can I?
Long story short, no. That's what God said.
Okay. The other question that the Spirit is going to lead us to answer, someone asked, how do I keep men off my pearly back gate? So I've translated that to understand, how do I keep men from trying to do the anal on me?
Why are you trying to not do the anal?
I opened up the book and I pointed to the first verse I saw. I let the Spirit lead me. And it says, and he said, do it a second time. And they did it a second time. And they said, do it a third time. And they did it a third time. So that was the answer that the Spirit of God has led. This is 1 Kings 18, verse 34.
That's pretty fair, though. Like, you don't want to do it just the first time. The first time is not going to be good, but that second and third time,
Jehovah says,
chef's kiss.
Anal's never good the first time. You got to try 2 or 3 more times before you enjoy it.
Amen.
It's just like that first bite of a fudgesicle. It's painful and it's horrible. It's the worst feeling imaginable.
Why a fudgesicle?
Because they're so cold and they give you a brain freeze. Or that first shot when you're going out on the town, and you take that first shot and you're like, cool, but all the other ones go down real smooth. So just like that, anal is never good the first time.
Join us next week for Bible study. We take shots to each passage.
Bye-bye!
This is Tiffany.
That's right.
I'm Jessica.
Thank you so much for joining us for Bible Slutty. It's our holiday special, and we hope that you've enjoyed.
Technically, we have one more left of this year.
Probably. Yeah.
No, we do. We have one
left. Alrighty, well, thank you for joining.
Bye, everybody.
Bye, everybody.
Tip us on Venmo. You won't, but go ahead and do it. You don't want to be live yet?